Hello guys, it's me V Clifto bringing you a guide to Darius. Darius is a top lane bully who ends up being a very strong late game team fighting bruiser. At least if you build him my way. You can build him pretty much pure damage, but I like to build him a little bit more bruiser. But we're going to get to that later when we talk about the build. Let's start off with his abilities. His passive is Hemorrhage. Every time you use a auto attack or a ability, it applies a bleeding, or it shows a bleeding mark, and it does a little bit of bleeding damage. It's very good for last hitting minions, because if you have a lot of minions and you have to last hit them and you having a bleeding stack on them, it could take the minion for you if it was pretty much impossible for you to get that minion. Very good way of clearing waves, doing damage to applying damage to champions. It also works very well with the abilities. The next ability, or your Q ability, which you probably want to put a point into first, is your Decimate, which you swing your axe in a circle and it does damage. Okay, yeah, it does damage. But the key to this ability is that you deal 50% more damage if you hit them where the axe on most champions. But see, I have Dunk Master Darius, so the white part of the hoop, I guess it's probably easier on this skin to see where to hit them. But you want to hit them where the white end of the hoop is, or pretty much on the outside of the skill. You will deal 50% bonus damage. It's very good in the beginning, because I calculated it. If you don't even build a damage item, pure just starting off, and you go hit a minion or hit a person, you'll deal 200 damage, I think I calculated, or a little bit more than 200 damage, something like that, right off the bat without even building damage. So very strong ability, especially if you poke them, but you have to hit them on where the blade is at. The next ability is your W, which is Crippling Strike, which does after you activate it, the next basic attack will deal bonus damage. Very good. I guess it's like an enhanced auto attack. It'll also slow their movements and their attack speed, so it's a very good dueling item. Probably better when you later you'll learn, but very good at slowing them down so that you can deal damage while they're running away, and to pretty much make it precise on your Q to deal that bonus damage, so you know exactly when they're at the edge of it. Your next ability is your E, Apprehend, where you forgot to say on the W, on your Crippling Strike, the more hemorrhaging stacks you have on the person you attack, you will lower the cooldown, and the max hemorrhage, I forgot to say that too, is 5 stacks. So you can have 5 stacks. You can lower it starts off, or if you don't build any cooldown reduction at all ranks, it will be a 9-second cooldown, so you can lower it down to pretty much a 4 seconds, so you can do it right over again. That's a pretty good way of dealing some bonus damage to enemies and slowing them down, allowing them to slow their attack speed. But then you go to your E, which is Apprehend. In a cone shape in front of you, you will pull. Right here, you're going to see it. It's a very awesome, or no, I didn't do it now. I'll do it later, but I do a crazy pull. But you pull the champion towards you in your direction, which is very good. Passively, it also ignores armor, which is kind of like a Last Whisper. So it's like in your abilities, you pretty much get a Last Whisper, a little bit weaker than a Last Whisper, but it's pretty much a Last Whisper. It's a very good ability to start. I used to max out my E because I saw the armor, but I found out 2 reasons why not to really do it. One is your Q is a little bit stronger at poking champions, but also most people don't start off building armor, straight armor, because I mean that's not really normally a good idea. So it's kind of useless in the early game. You're not going to pretty much leave lane until you get level 6 for both of them. In a standard, once you get pretty much used to the game, you probably wouldn't leave lane until level 6. So they're not going to be able to build armor in that time period. So it's kind of probably better to use your poke with your Q. Your ultimate is Noxian Guillotine, which allows you to jump up there. Most people call it the dunk. That's why this Dunk Master skin is pretty funny, because you'd actually dunk a basketball on top of somebody's head, which is kind of funny. So, it's a very good ability. It does true damage. Another good thing about it is it works with your hemorrhage, or your passive. is that depending on how many strikes you have, or stacks you have on it, you will deal bonus damage. So if you have 5 stacks, which is the max, you will deal, even at like the first time you'll do it, you'll deal 900 damage, which is a very good pretty much ability. If you can get all those hemorrhage stacks on somebody, you're doing 900 damage, and after you do the combo that I'm going to talk to you about later, you will pretty much kill them with one combo if you can get as much hemorrhage stacks as if you can get 5 hemorrhage stacks, is pretty much. So before I start off with the build, this game I was playing with a full team of friends, or a full team pretty much. I didn't know everybody. I knew the Blitzcrank and the Karthus beforehand, and I just met the other two. They're pretty nice people. The Nocturne was saying that he wasn't going to gank until level 6, but me and Karthus were like telling him to keep ganking us because we wanted to get really fed up. And so the Riven gets kind of pissed off because I have Nocturne gank her. Like, this is like the 3rd, 4th time he's ganked her, and it's kind of just funny because, I mean, I don't know. I wanted to get fed just because that's really good, and especially since Riven's better if she's down, and if you can be able to pretty much bully her to where she can't get any CS, she's kind of useless. Not useless, but she's very hard. She won't do as much damage, and that's really good thing is you don't want her to snowball, because even a bad Riven, if she gets snowballed, she would pretty much it won't be pretty hard to pretty much carry the game. So I wanted to have that not happen. So we're gonna start off with his build. Most people I find build him wrong because there's 2 main items I found to be the only 2 items that you have to pretty much have on Darius every time you build him. He is not a pure tank. He's not a tank. He's not a only, like, you should build pure tank like a Mundo or something. You shouldn't build pure tank with him. He's not a pure tank. He's a bully, so you want to be building damage, but be able to be a little bit healthy, because later when you get into team fights, you will be hit, so you need to build some tankier items, unless you don't want to, but most solo queue games, you probably should build a little bit more tanky. So we're going to start off with the build. What you see now is, you see me starting to build toward a Hydra, which is a very good item on him, because your abilities, your auto attacks are very slow, and he's kind of, in the beginning of the game, he's kind of, because you're bullying him, you may have better CS, but you don't CS fast, and you don't clear waves fast with him. So how I clean that up is I say a Hydra. Hydra is a really good item because it gives you, so if you do get hit in a team fight, you can regen your health back, and then you can come back into the fight. You also have lifesteal, and also you get the area of effect damage that you can clear waves pretty easily. Really fast, and that'll allow you to clear waves and still bully people, allow you to deal massive damages, and that's why I say Hydra is the main item, the first item you should aim toward, because it will give you that damage, the area of effect, give you the life steal, the health regen. It's pretty much his core item, I find, and I think that's just a very good item on him since he's slow. Allows you to clear waves fast, and clearing waves is very important. You can just ask that to Samson White, the champions of the LCS. They only lost like 2 games in the whole game, and that was only because they didn't have wave clear. He'll give wave clear to your team if you build that Hydra. The next item you should build toward is a Last Whisper, because you're thinking, okay, well, your E, it's pretty much a Last Whisper. You said it was a Last Whisper. It is a Last Whisper, but if you have a Last Whisper with it, you're pretty much going to ignore 50% of armor. So building armor is going to be kind of a bad thing. Now, here's another question. You may be saying, well, you said that the ultimate does true damage, and true damage can only be stopped by health. They can't really build armor. That is true, but the reason why I build a Last Whisper is to be able to take towers and structures quicker, which allows you, once you have those 2 items, the Hydra, which can clear waves, and you have the Last Whisper to deal to take down turrets, you become a different kind of tank, not a League of Legends normal tank. Oh, you can take all the damage, but I think of a tank like a military tank, like something that can just push the waves and clear the minions and then kill structures. That's like kind of like a military tank. Military tank punches holes in walls and just can't be stopped. Not that he can't be stopped, but he can just keep going, and he's going to help out the team with both Blast Whisper and that. Those are the two building items that you should build. Then after that, you can build pretty much whatever you want. That's what's good about him, is that's what can make him easy, but some people don't build them. Some people will build pure tanks. Some people won't build those two items, and I find them to be a little bit weaker people. I think that these two items are a must-need on him. So after you build those two items, the next two items are pretty good because they give you damage, and it also will make you a bit more tanky. First item you should probably build is that I build is a Hexdrinker. Hexdrinker, not Hexa. Hexdrinker, which what happens is gives you a little shield when you drop below a certain amount of health. But that's so good because if you get into a 1v1 fight and they're like, okay, he's almost low out of health, he's almost out of health, I can go take him. Then this bubble comes out of nowhere, and it pretty much will save you, making you tanky. It also gives you some magic resist, so it's a very good item. The next item that you should build is a frozen mallet, which will give you health, a lot of health, 700 health. It'll give you damage. It will also give you a slowing effect on your auto attacks, which will allow you to keep on hitting them and allowing to put more stacks onto the other champions, which is a very good item. It makes you pretty much a bruiser because now you have so much health. You have health, and now you have damage, and allow you to slow them. So it's a very good item on him. After that, you could build a Maw of Malmortius from your Hexdrinker. Give you a little bit bonus of that Hexdrinker. Give you a bigger shield. Gives you more, pretty much more magic resist, more damage too. It's a very good item, making him more tanky. After that, you can pretty much build whatever you want. I mean, after that, you can, then it makes it even more. Okay, now you're in a solo queue. The next two items are very situational. You can build whatever you want. You could probably, after that, build just damage. I mean, you haven't heard me said boots. You don't really need boots on him because he's going to be slow. He's slow. You're like, oh, well, why don't you build boots to make him faster? Well, you're going to be in a team fight. He's a team fighting champion. So you want to be in team fights. You want to be in the middle of the fights. You're not going to be chasing too many people. You don't want to leave your team. And if you're doing that, then, I mean, they're going to get away anyway, because even putting a movement speed is not going to help you too much because you don't have any way to stopping them except your apprehend. But it's a low, short range ability, which is kind of, there's a downside to it. So you can build boots. The three boots I would say would be Merc Treads, Ninja Tabby, or Attack Speed, depending on what you need. But you don't have to. Still a good, decent item, maybe if you want to. The Attack Speed will allow you to put more stacks. That probably is a good idea. If you build the boots, then the final item, I came up with 3 different ones, or 4 different ones. You can build a Guardian Angel or Banshee's Veil. Those are just to make you tankier kind of a build. And then, or you can build a Bloodthirster, which will give you more health and that shield, which is very nice. You can also get a Mercurial Scimitar. That was a crazy grab right there. That's the one I was talking about. But you can get that item to give you take all the what's it called, stuns and stuff, or slows, take them away. That's a pretty good item. Or I mean, there's pretty wide items. You can probably just build a Warmogs if you want to build more tanky if you have to, because you'll do plenty of damage with the 2 items I said at the beginning. But yeah, the items are fairly situational after you buy those 2 items. If you buy those 2 items, you can actually just build pure damage, sit in the back, wait for your team to like weaken them all, and then you can go get a pentakill of dunking them, because the dunking, oh, I forgot to say, the dunking will reset after, if you get a kill, if you kill them with it, it will reset the kill, so you can reset the ability, and you can do it. I actually killed this Riven under tower. That's how strong I got. I'm just too strong. I still had half health, and I took like 4 turret shots, maybe 5 turret shots. It's kind of crazy. She's just like, yeah, but it's done. She gave up. I got ganks from my team. I mean, I had a good team. It was nice to have a good team and get fed, get help. But yeah, I mean, that's just gonna happen with Darius. He's gonna be that strong. So let's get to the combos in the early game. you can probably just poke with your Q, but after you get your 3 abilities, if you want to just deal some decent damage, a good ability would be you start off, because most people are not going to sit right next to you to get you auto attacks. You probably should apprehend them toward you. They'll probably be in range for that. And then you would probably want to hit your W, Crippling Strike, to slow them down. And then right when they get out of range, or just right when they get on the tip of your Decimate or your Q, you can use the Decimate to deal that bonus damage. And pretty much that will pretty much bully them completely out of lane, because you'll have dealt so much damage after using that. Once you get your ultimate, I find it that it's quicker to deal damage, and this is my combo. It's maybe not the optimal combo, because you can do other stuff, but I normally start off with a E and then I Q. Now, yes, you will deal less damage, but what I want to do with this Q is I want to put a stack on them. That's all I want to do, is put that stack. Deal some decent damage, but put on the stack, and then put on your W's, make them slow, and then ult them. So that's a pretty good combo right there. I hope you enjoyed. This video is going to come to an end. They surrender while we try to take Baron down as quickly as we can. We end up very short of it. We were like, take this Baron down real quick, when we saw the surrender vote. We couldn't take it out fast enough. It was too bad. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like button. Please, in the comment below, leave the support you would like me to do, because that will be my next one. If I don't get one, I will do Blitzcrank. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed. This has been V Clifto, and I'm signing off. Stay cool, my friends.